Hi YouTubers, Derow here. This past year, I set out to take a very personal cabaret journey going back to my childhood days on Cape Cod and the music that filled our house, mostly influenced from my father's record collection. The show is called The House That Built Me. It's a tribute to a little girl who started singing opera at the age of 14, loved Judy Collins enough to learn how to play the guitar, and of course, danced around the living room to every single Broadway tune she could. So I figured I would bring my living room to your living room. You know, they say you can't go home again, but I did at the Laurie Beachman Theater. And with me on piano, Matt Baker, my music director, on guitar, Peter Kalo, Steve Doyle on bass, and I call them my carpenters. And of course, the architect of it all, my director, Jeff Harner. So here is The House That Built Me in its entirety, filmed by Michael Stever.
Ladies and gentlemen, Derow, The House That Built Me.
I'm the everything man, looking out for every girl. You are the God and the weight of the world. So fathers, be good to your daughters. Daughters will love like they do. Girls become lovers and turn into mothers. Mothers, be good to your daughters too. And fathers, be good to your daughters too. Be good to your daughters.
You leave home and you move on and you do the best that you can. I got lost in this old world and forgot who I am. No, they say can't go home again. I just had to come back one last time. Man, I know you don't know me from mine. These handprints on the driveway to mine. Up those stairs in that little back bedroom is where I did my homework and I learned to play guitar. I bet you didn't know, under that live oak, my favorite dog is buried in the yard.
I thought if I could touch this place or feel it, this brokenness inside me might start healing. Out here it's like I'm someone else.
Thought if maybe I could find myself, if I could just come in, I swear I'll leave. Won't take nothing but a memory from the house that built
Growing up, we consisted of 2 dogs, a cat, my little brother Bobby, my restaurant owner father Robert Derow, and my hairstyling mother Rose Derow. Mama cut out pictures of houses for years, from Better Home and Garden magazine. Plans were drawn, concrete poured, nail by nail and board by board. Daddy gave life to Mama's dreams.
Thought if I could touch this place or feel it, this brokenness inside me might start healing. Out here it's like I'm someone else.
Thought if maybe I could find myself, if I could walk around, I swear I'll leave. Won't take nothing but a memory from the house that built me. You leave home and you move on and you do the best you can. And I got lost in this old world and forgot who I If I could just come in, I swear I'll leave. Won't take but a memory from the house that built me. House that built me. House that built me. Sometimes I wonder if I'm ever gonna make it home again. Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here. Welcome to the house that built me. I've tapped into some very special music with some very special memories to go along with it. And though the house that built me is the home that I've left behind, is somehow always inside of me no matter where I go. So, I'm going to tell a little story. Once upon a time in Waldwick, New Jersey. Is Jersey in the house? Woo! A young Italian-American girl of 19 drove into, well, she didn't drive into it, but she pulled into, that'd be a whole nother story. She pulled into a gas station in Waldwick, and, you know, she went there to get her tank filled. And she met Bob. Blonde hair, blue-eyed, half Polish, half Italian, gas attendant. And Bob asked Rose out on a date. And their first date, she said yes, of course. Their first date was the movies. The year was 1970. He did not take her to see MASH or Patton. He didn't even take her to see Love Story. He took her to see Hello, Dolly. Yes. Spoiler alert, he likes the Broadway musicals. He also showed her his apartment that night, and he made his first move on Rosemary Benvenuto. Fast forward, September 2nd, 1972, they were married. And the day after their wedding, they moved to Owings Mills, Maryland. First time living together. Well, this past September. They just celebrated 47 years, so I think that's going pretty well. So back to 1972. They moved into a small little apartment. They got a dog, got a cat, and Rose started her career as a beautician. Bob worked some mundane job that he hated, and they were happy because they were newlyweds, so they didn't care. And at night, they entertained guests. Now, I've heard that Rose baked pot brownies for these guests, though she tells me it was only once. Yeah, right. But just imagine. You can almost smell those pot brownies now. I'll light the fire. You place the flowers in the vase that you bought today. Staring at the fire for hours and hours while I listen to you play your love song all night long for me, only for me. Our house is a very, very, very fine house with 2 cats in the yard. Life used to be so hard. Now everything is easy because of you. La 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 Our house, it has a crowd, always something happening, and it's usually quite loud. Our mom, she's so house proud, nothing ever slows her down, and a mess is not allowed. Our house, in the middle of our street, our house, where you find good things to eat. Our house, in the middle of our street. Our house, where you find good things. La 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 Our house is a very, very, very fine house with 2 cats in the yard. Life used to be so hard. Now everything is easier.
Now everything is easier.
Everything is easier 'cause of you.
Everything is easy 'cause of you.
Everything is easy 'cause of you. Two years later, I was born in Baltimore, Maryland. And it wasn't very much time after that we decided to pack up and move up north to Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Now, one of my first memories actually is of us all in a U-Haul together. Dog, cat, my parents and I. My mom doesn't believe me, but I'm like, I swear to God, I have this memory of us in a U-Haul. When else were we in a U-Haul? I know I was only 1.5 or something, but I remember that. So I just want to see a show of hands. JP, a little house lights. How many of you have never been to Cape Cod? Let's see. Okay, we got one back there, two. Okay, not too many. Okay, good. Well, the three of you are invited for Thanksgiving. I'm going for Thanksgiving, so Mom, you're okay with that, right? We've got plenty of room. You'll all come, hang out with us. It'll be loud as ever, especially if there's alcohol involved. But we live in a beautiful little beach town called Eastham, and right down the street is First Encounter Beach, Cape Cod Bay. If you're fond of sand dunes and salty air, quaint little villages here and there, you're sure to fall in love with old Cape Cod. If you like the taste of a lobster stew, served by a window with an ocean view, you're sure to fall in love with old Cape Cod. Winding roads that seem to beckon you, miles of green beneath the sky of blue, church bells chiming on a Sunday morn remind you of the town that you were born. If you spend an evening you'll want to stay, watching the moonlight on Cape Cod Bay, you're sure to fall in love with old Cape Cod. This song was written in 1957, and it was literally used as travel propaganda for tourists to perhaps visit in the 50s and 60s, but also for young families to maybe up and move there. Well, the Derows bought it hook, line, and sinker, not only building their dream house, but also a family restaurant called the Lighthouse. If you spend an evening you'll want to stay, watching the moonlight on Cape Cod Bay, you're sure to fall in love with old Cape Cod. You're sure to fall in love with old Cape Cod. In 1978, my little brother Bob was born. We had a great childhood together. He is officially the only Cape Codder of the family, and he lets us know that too. He'll be like, yeah, you guys are all just wash ashores. I was born here. But we did. We had a wonderful childhood. And when we were old enough, like at 8, we, of course, worked at the Lighthouse restaurant together. Bussing tables, cooking, side by side with our father and sometimes my mother as well. And that was a lot of fun. And then when we were younger, of course, our house was situated on a cul-de-sac, and right beyond our backyard fence was the bike trail. So we had the run of the land, and we rode dirt bikes everywhere. We built tree forts everywhere. Now, I know I might not look like it today, but I was one of the girls who was one of the boys. I won't forget when Peter Pan came to my house, took my hand. I said I was a boy. I'm glad he didn't check. I learned to fly, I learned to fight. I lived a whole life in one night. We saved each other's lives out on the pirate deck. I remember that night when I'm leaving a late night with some friends, and I hear somebody tell me it's not safe. Someone should help me. I need to find a strong man to walk me home. When I was a boy, I scared the pants off of my mom. I climbed what I could climb upon. And I don't know how I survived. I guess I knew the tricks that all the boys knew. But you can walk me home. But I was a boy too. I was a kid that you would like. Just a small boy on her bike, riding topless. Yeah, I never cared who saw. My neighbor came outside to say, "Dawn, get your shirt." I said, "No way. It's the last time, and I'm not breaking any law." And now I'm in this clothing store, and the sign says less is more. More that's tight means more to see. More for them, not more for me. 'Cause that can't help you climb a tree in 10 seconds flat. When I was a boy, you see that picture? That was me, grass-stained shirt and dusty knees. And I know things have gotta change. They got pills to sell, they got implants to put in, they got implants to remove. But I am not forgetting that I was a boy too. Like the woods where I would creep, it's a secret I can keep, except when I'm tired, except when I'm being caught off guard. I've had this lonesome, awful day, and the conversation, it finds its way to catching fireflies out in the backyard. And so I tell the man I'm with about the other life I lived. And I say, "Now you're Top Gun. I have lost, and you have won." And he says, "Oh, no. Can't you see? When I was a girl, my mom and I, we always talked, and I picked flowers everywhere that I walked. And I could always cry. Now even when I'm alone, I seldom do. And I have lost some kindness, but I was a girl too, and you were just like me, and I was just like you, and I was just like you, and you were just like me. Our last name is Polish. We are 3/4 Italiano. Calabrese. Testa di Derow. Head like a rock. So, by day, our house was piano lessons and Puccini arias like this one. Oh mio bambino caro, mi piace bello meno. by night. We put away the piano lessons and the Puccini, and we pulled out the Italian hit parade. And we danced. Hey mambo, mambo Italiano. Hey mambo, mambo Italiano. Go, go Joe. You mixed up Siciliano. All you Calabrese do the mumbo like a crazy with a hey mambo. Don't wanna tarantella. Hey mambo. No more mozzarella. Hey mambo, mambo Italiano. Try an enchilada with the fishy bacalao. Anyway, gumba. You don't have done it good the rumba. We'll take a summer vice paisano. Learn how to mambo. If you're gonna be a square, you ain't gonna win. Oh, hey mambo, mambo Italiano. Hey mambo, mambo Italiano. Go, go Joe. Shake it like a Giovanni. Ero quesadilla, you get happy in your feet. So when you mambo Italiano. Allora, we are going to perform for you the traditional Italian apron dance. Now, usually this happens in a wedding, by the godmother, but no problemo. We recreate this now. Now, what happens in this nice apron dance is it is customary to put dollar bills, or whatever you like, into my apron for good luck, yeah? Ma? Va bene? Ok. Ho capito. Mama said, stop, or I'm gonna tell you, Papa. Hey, Jadru, you don't have to go to school. Just make it with the big bambino, easy like a vino. Kid, you're good looking, but you don't know what's a cookie when you, hey, mambo, mambo Italiano, hey, mambo, mambo Italiano, go, go, Joe. Shake it like a Gino Vano. So delicious, everybody can capisce how to mambo. Oh boys, I'm taking you out tonight. Italiano. That's nice.
There's a 10 in there, and there's a 5. Oh my God, there's a real one in there. I'm talking one that has 3 digits. I'm serious. I'm serious.
There's a young man that I know, his age is 21. Comes from down in southern Colorado, just out of service, and he's looking for his fun someday soon. Going with him someday soon. My parents cannot stand him 'cause he rides the rodeo. My father says that he will leave me crying. I would follow him right down the toughest road I know someday soon. Going with him someday soon. tonight from California. He loves his damned old rodeo as much as he loves me. Someday soon, going with him someday soon. I loved Judy Collins growing up, and this record played on repeat in my adolescent years. And this song was one of her big hits in the 70s, but I loved it, and it inspired me to pick up the guitar. It also inspired me to bring home the wrong kinds of boys in high school. I guess that's why my daddy used to always say that no man was ever good enough. Oh, when it comes to call, my pa ain't got a good word to say. Guess it's 'cause he's just as wild in the younger days. So blow you old blue northern, blow my love to me. He's driving in tonight from California. He loves his damned old rodeo as much as he loves me. Someday soon, going with him someday soon. Someday soon, going with him someday soon. When life gets you down, it can hurt you so. The sun is shining outside, but your heart feels tender low. Don't you worry your head, don't shed no tear. Oh, just think to yourself, who said birthdays have to happen only once a year? So when I was about to turn 18, I was pretty sure that no one was gonna throw me a party. And when you're about to be 18, you should have a big, huge party, right? Well, I decided to throw myself one. And I knew just the spot. I knew where there was a perfectly vacant house. How did I know this? Because it was the house that we had moved out of a couple of years before, and my parents were preparing to rent it out. Vacant house full of teenagers? What could possibly go wrong? Sometimes you got to bake your own party. Sometimes you got to bake your own cake. Sometimes you got to light your own candles. Make a few wishes for your own sake. Sometimes it seems when dreams might desert you, what's round the corner you'll never know. Don't pack it in, just make your own party. If there's no music, be your own show. I don't know why at 18 I thought breaking and entering was a good idea. But there we were. And everyone was in on it. My boyfriend got the keg of beer. My brother and his friends showed up with Doritos, food for the munchies. The cheerleaders came. They brought smart food popcorn and a case of Zima. We had the drama kids, the burnouts, the jocks, the dorks, all safely contained in the basement of my old house so that my neighbors wouldn't hear. Great party planning, right? Sometimes you got to blow your own trumpet. Sometimes you got to blaze your own trail. Pour your own tea and serve your own crumpet. Who needs a donkey? Pin your own tail. Sometimes it seems that dreams might escape you. What's round the corner you'll never know. Don't pack it in, just make your own party. If there's no music, be your own show. Oh my God, the party was raging. Oh, and we were all dancing. It was packed. Oh my God, packed wall to wall in that basement. And we had the CD boombox, and we were dancing to all the hits by TLC, Madonna, Nirvana, and Snoop Dogg. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you want to come to my party? How I love when you're at my party. What a lovely night for a party. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, come along and bring the confetti. Salsa, schnapps, and devastated. You're like, oh my God, this chick's a train wreck. But you know what? You have to understand something. I was such a good girl. I was drama club president, the lead in all the school musicals. I volunteered in the office as an intern, varsity cheerleader, best dressed, most school spirited, prom queen. I still have my crown. On Sundays, I was church choir cantor. And I only got arrested that one time. Should we make the champagne white or pink when we start to drink at our party? Sometimes you got to pop your own cork. Sometimes you got to buy your own bubbly. Toast to new friends in New York. Sometimes it seems that dreams might escape you. What's round the corner, you'll never know. Don't pack it in, just make your own party. Woo! Yeah! Don't pack it in, just party! Woo! Nirvana!
Your dad's here.
And there's my dad, standing in front of me, furious. He's holding a fistful of invitations for what was supposed to be my surprise birthday party. He throws them at me and he says, "Everyone out, clean this up. You're grounded, Missy." Oh my God, I was so devastated in front of all my peers. So I turned to my few friends left and I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, don't pack it in, it's still my own party. Decades from now, we'll talk of this party. Life gets you down, make your own party. I'm glad that I did it, it's now in my show. We've now come to the show and tell portion of this production. My mother's first Christmas present from my father was a stack of Broadway musical LPs. This is only about half of that stack. So we have here an original soundtrack recording, South Pacific, Man of La Mancha. Oh, you know, it's not too late. I could still play Aldonza. Guys and Dolls. Showboat, hey. Friday I just sang Julie, that was fun. These are real, they're in here. They're in here. King and I, oh, look at that dress. I used to stare at that for hours. Like, where can I get, do we have that at a thrift store in Cape Cod? I don't know, maybe. Fantastic. And there you go. Well, Dad, I approve of your present because this is where I learned about the Broadway musicals. And I think I'm going to do a little song from one of them. Hey, Matt, can I sit here?
Yeah, come sit down. Give me company.
You want to do this one with me?
Sure.
Don't throw bouquets at me. Don't please my folks too much. Don't laugh at my jokes too much. People will say we're in love.
Don't sigh and gaze at me. Your sighs are so like mine. Your often glow like mine. People will say we're in love.
Don't start collecting things. Give me my rose and my glove.
Sweetheart, they're suspecting things. People will say we're in love.
Don't dance all night with me till the stars fade from above.
They'll see it's alright with me. People will say we're in love. People will say we're in love. There you go.
You guys having fun? Get ready. I'm a girl, and by me that's only great. I am proud that my silhouette is curvy, that I walk with a sweet and girlish gait, with my hips kind of swivelly and swervy. How many of you remember Flower Drum Song? I enjoy being a girl, right? Oh my God. Well, there's just so many wonderful songs in my father's record collection of Broadway musical LPs, and I really wanted to do all of them, but instead, we put together this little medley for you. Let me entertain you. Let me make you smile. Let me do a few tricks, some old and then some new tricks. I'm very versatile. So I want to paint a picture for you, okay? A very versatile 10-year-old girl, that's me, in my living room, my parents' living room, next to the record player, playing these albums and singing at the top of my lungs, and deeply internalizing their messages of inspiration, hope, and dreaming the impossible dream. I was spawned in a ditch by a mother who left me there naked and cold and too hungry to cry. Born on a dung heap to die on a dung heap, a strumpet man use. You have to understand the way I am, mein Herr. A tiger is a tiger, not a lamb, mein Herr. You'll never turn the vinegar to jam, mein Herr. So I do what I do, then I'm through. Toodaloo. I'll be so happy to keep his dinner warm while he goes onward and upward, waiting to say good evening, dear. I'm pregnant. What's new with you from downtown? Oh, to be loved by a man I respect, to bask in the glow of his perfectly understandable neglect. Neglect. It's a rip in the bustle and a rustle in the hay, and I'll pinch the quick fantastic with flings of confetti and my petticoats away up high. It's a very short way from the fling that's for fun tits and ass. Bought myself a fancy pair, tightened up the derriere, did the nose with it, all that goes with it, tits and ass. Had the bingo bungos done. Suddenly, I'm just a girl who can't say no. I'm in a terrible fix. I always say, come on, let's go. Just when I ought to say, lovely ladies waiting in the dark, ready for a thick one or a quick one in the park. Lovely ladies ready for the call, standing up or lying down or any way at all. I made my mind up back in Chelsea when I go. I'm going like Elsie. Start by admitting from cradle to tomb, it isn't that long a stay. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Mom, what is a cabaret, old chum? So let me entertain you, and we'll have a real good time. I for me. Well, I know we're having a lot of fun with these Broadway musical songs, but there's one song that's extra special, and I was a little bit of a daddy's girl, and I guess I still am. So, this one's for you, Dad. My little girl, pink and white as peaches and cream is she. My little girl is half again as bright as girls are meant to be. Dozens of boys pursue her, many a likely lad does what he can to woo her from her faithful dad. She has a few pink and white young fellas of 2 or 3. But my little girl gets hungry every night, and she comes home to me. Another day, another sin. Another day I'm late again. Oh, and just like that my money's spent. Where did it all go? Another night, another heart. Another one leaves in the dark. Now I'm searching for my counterpart. Where did it all go? And I lock every single door, and I look behind me even more. Now I've turned into someone that I swore I would never be. I wish I could go back to play Barbie Barbies in my room. They never say that you gotta grow up quite this soon. How fast things change. Now I'm here and all I wanna do is go back to playing Barbies in my room. I've seen it all on my father's face. Another line that comes of age. I know that time will have its way. Where did it all go? They say that things were simple then, though I don't remember when. I wanna know what happens next. Where do we all go? And I lock every single door, and I look behind me even more. Now I've turned into someone that I swore I would never be. I wish I could go back to playing Barbies in my room. They never say that you gotta grow up quite this soon. How fast things change. Now I'm here and all I want to do is go back to playing Barbies in my room. Pink canopies and grass-stained knees, putting fireflies in a jar, getting home before it's dark, scotch taping posters on my wall, rolling pixie sticks to smoke, couldn't wait till I was older. Oh, I wish I could go back to playing Barbies in my room. They never say that you gotta grow up quite this soon. How fast things change. Now I'm here and all I wanna do is go back to playing Barbies in my room. Back to playing Barbies in my. I wish that I could go back. I wish that I could go back. I wish I could go back. Back to playing Barbies in my room. Nothing like a little opera into some country. Well, I like some country music that includes Loretta Lynn, and I'm glad to hear she thinks her daddy's fine. Well, I know this ain't a contest. If it was, I think I'd win. Let me tell you about the daddy I call mine. Dear old daddy owned the Lighthouse. That's the restaurant that you'll find in old Cape Cod, Massachusetts, USA. For 30 years he worked there while his patrons were unwinding. Daddy loved to help their troubles melt away. They don't make 'em like my daddy anymore. All reliable and honest to the core. He is strong and he is gentle and he's kind of sentimental. They don't make 'em like my daddy anymore. I'd like to thank Richie Eisenberg, who made these lyrics just a little more personal for me. We love us some Loretta Lynn. Yeehaw! Cries at sappy movies, but I wouldn't call him hokey. As for Broadway tunes, he loves them though he's straight. Now he's got a brand new hobby. He's discovered karaoke. Man, his Elvis makes my heart accelerate. If you're ever up in Cape Cod, I'd be glad to introduce you. Won't take 5 minutes till you've made a friend. 'Cause my daddy is a charmer and his laughter will seduce ya. There's no better man that I can recommend. They don't make 'em like my daddy anymore. All reliable and honest to the core. He is strong and he is gentle and he's kind of sentimental. They don't make 'em like my daddy anymore. They don't make 'em like my daddy anymore. My pa. A big thank you to Richie Eisenberg, who literally took like 2 days to write those lyrics for me. It's wonderful. Speaking of thank yous, I have a bunch of thank yous to make right now. First of all, this wonderful room is like my home away from home. It's one of my favorite rooms to sing in New York City. And they really always make me feel like home. So Kenny Bell and Michael Kirk Lane, please give them a big round of applause. And all the wonderful staff here, they do such a wonderful job of bringing you your drinks and your brunch. I hope you enjoyed the food. I think the menu is great here. So once again, tip your waiters. My videographer, who's been a friend of mine for a long time, and I think he's at this point filmed almost half of my 10 cabaret performances, Michael Stever. My publicist is in the house, Stephen Hanks. I'm very lucky right now to be in a wonderful, loving, and supportive relationship, so I don't usually do this at my shows, but I am going to give a big round of applause to my boyfriend, John Williams. On lights and sound, projection, and again, he's probably run about half of my cabaret shows. JP Perot in the back. Thanks, JP. My lovely director couldn't be here today. He has a show tonight, so if you don't want to go home because it's raining out, so you just want to walk over to Birdland tonight, he's got a show. It's wonderful. It's called Carried Away. This is the second show I've worked with him, and he's just a dream to have as a director and a friend, Jeff Harner. My carpenters! Right? Without a house, I wouldn't have carpenters up here. I wouldn't have a house without these carpenters to build this house with me. So, on guitar, Peter Caleb. Behind me on bass, Steve Doyle. My music director and my dear friend, Matt Baker. Guys. And last but not least, my manufacturers, my producers, my parents, Rose and Bob, who are here today. Well, I've saved one LP for last. Jacques Brel is alive and well and living in Paris. In 1968, this show opened down in the village at the Village Gate, and it ran for several years. And when my parents were dating, they went down to see this production. And I always loved the music, but there was one song in particular that really stuck with me. And I feel like it's a little bit of a humanity anthem. If we only have love, then tomorrow will dawn, and the days of our years will rise on that morn. If we only have love to embrace without fears, we will kiss with our eyes, we will sleep without tears. If we only have love, with our arms open wide, then the young and the old will stand at our side. If we only have love, love that's falling like rain, then the parched desert earth will grow green again. If we only have love for the hymns that we shout, for the songs that we sing, then we'll have our way out. If we only have love, we can reach those in pain. We can heal all our wounds. We can use our own name. If we only have love, we can melt all the guns and then give the new world to our daughters and sons. If we only have love, then Jerusalem stands, and then death has no shadow. There are no foreign lands. If we only have love, we will never bow down. We'll be tall as the pines, neither heroes nor clowns. If we only have love to be shared by all men, then we'll drink from the ground to be born once again. And it wasn't until years later I discovered that this is the song my parents walked down the aisle to. Then with nothing at all but the little we are, we'll have conquered all time, all space, the sun and the stars. Once again for my trio, the Carpenters. Thank you all so much. Of course, there's one more thank you, and that is, of course, all of you for coming. I know that this is not the best day to be out, for one, so I seriously thank all of you. I've been scrambling to get people to come to this day, because this week is just, there's an abundance of shows to go to, and you could pick whatever you want to go to, and you decided to come here and support me, and I am rich in support and love by all of you, and thank you for giving me your wonderful energy. This one's for you. When you look into my eyes and you see the crazy gypsy in my soul, it always comes as a surprise when I feel my withered roots begin to grow. Well, I've never had a place that I could call my very own. That's alright, my love, 'cause you're my home. When you touch my weary head and you tell me everything will be alright, use my body for your bed and my love will keep you warm throughout the night. Whenever we're together, you're my home. Home could be the Pennsylvania Turnpike, Indiana's early morning dew, high up in the hills of California. Home is just another word for you. If I travel all my life and I never get to stop and settle down, long as I have you by my side, there's a roof above and good walls all around. You're my castle, you're my cabin, you're my instant pleasure dome. I need you in my house, 'cause you're my home. Big Italian kiss to all of you. Mwah.
I wouldn't be anywhere else but here today.
This is really one of the most insightful, diverse, versatile shows she's ever performed, and I love her to death, and she sounds better than ever.
I'm so proud of you. I loved it. I laughed. I cried a lot. It was so good. Mwah. And I got to come to Cape Cod.
I didn't know that we were Calabres in common. My mother's side was Calabres, so I'm half. So I love that part, and I understand all the Italian stuff. So congratulations. What a great, great show.
If you want to see a really fun show and hear a great singer who's at the top of her game and is becoming a real cabaret star, come check this out when she does it in the fall. You won't be sorry.
She's got a great family, a great story. It's one of the best shows I've seen. Heartfelt, charming, funny, warm. A privilege to be part of it.